Welcome to Heavy Metallurgy, and here is my take on the newest album of Sijjin. This is Helljjin Combat.
Substance the rain, they're long in vain. Creations of gravity sublime, affecting the flow.
Sijjin is a band from Germany and the Basque country. So some of you would call it Spain, but it's the Basque country. They were formed out of the ashes of German death doom metal band Necros Christos, and they are a three-piece. Their main man is bass player and a vocalist Malte Gericke. So in 2019 they released their very first demo tape. This is Angel of the Eastern Gate. That one blew me away. I'm normally not a guy that listens to much newer death metal stuff. I'm not really keen on that, but they had something to them. The old Sijjin stuff, the older Sijjin stuff is pure Morbid Angel worship. Circa the days of Abomination of Desolation, so mid to late 80s Morbid Angel in a thrashy way. In 2021 they released the album Sumerian Promises, and that is, I kid you not, my favorite death metal album in the last 20 years. Also out on Sepulchral Voice Records. Perfect. So I was reading some quotes from the band members, and they said they are going to display their old influences like Nasty Savage, old Slayer, old Megadeth, stuff like that. I'm a thrasher. I've been a thrasher since forever, yeah, since I'm a metal fan. So I was excited. I was really excited. The first thing I got before the album came out was a little flyer, and this one says, "New formula entrangled in old black magic. Sijjin return to seek combat, nailing 8 speed thrashing nightmares in your mind and heart." So earlier this week I got that one in the mail. Helljjin Combat by Sijjin, their brand new album. Still a three-piece. I couldn't wait to put the album on my turntable. So the album starts with a track called Fear Not the Tormentor, and it was nothing like I expected it to be. It starts with an instrumental section that is pretty long, about 2.5 minutes. You can hear the Megadeth riffing they were talking about in their earlier statements. I don't know the tuning of the album, but I think it's tuned to E standard, for all you guitar players out there. The instrumental section sounds a little bit like they are sneaking around the house. Yeah, they're getting a little bit faster. And then they kick in the door with the first lines of the album, and it says, "Master Satan, insane Lord of Chaos." And then the thrash metal overkill, yeah, it continues from there.
Master Satan, insane Lord of Chaos, we await thy return.
I'm not gonna talk about every one of the songs, just take the first 3. Like I said, Fear Not the Tormentor, the riffing on it, you gotta listen to it for yourself. The next song is called Dark Mark Curse. It has an eerie start, so a little bit melodic, but very eerie sounding. So then you've got a Morbid Angel riff, really old school, like you would expect on their demo tapes or the Abomination of Desolation LP. And then it goes into a pure thrash overkill with some blast beats. They don't do much blast beats on the album, not as much as on their debut. So the Morbid Angel influence is dialed back a little bit, but it's still there.
Bodies living, facing the sun. Concentric rows of absolution.
Hearing those two songs, I was so excited, and the album continues like that. Track number 3 is called Trance of the Mummified. Great song title. I love stuff like that. Again, it starts quite melodic, and then it develops in a double bass monster, but not for long. So very diverse songwriting here. And then again, it has a thrashy take on early Morbid Angel. You can hear guitar riffs on here that are a one-to-one copy from the old thrash days. Just perfect for me. I know there's a couple of people who are quite disappointed of the album. I'm looking at you, Ben. I can totally understand it. If you expect another, let's call it real death metal album, you won't get that from Helljjin Combat.
Lights its tide, an endless night, left to die. Hear my curse, crossbreakers.
So let's talk about the sound. They record their stuff live. The basic tracks are recorded live. And they are recorded right here in a barn. And you can hear that and you can feel that. There are overdubs on the album, of course. Sometimes you have a rhythm guitar laid over the basic tracks, or the solos. The vocals are done after recording the basic tracks. You've got a very loud bass. It has a little bit of a clangy sound, but it has still the bottom end. That is something you would hear from David Ellefson. Again, Megadeth influences. They weren't lying on that. The Megadeth influences are all over the record. The picking technique on the guitar, the right hand, that bass sound is something you can hear on Peace Cells or Rust in Peace. Perfect. The drums are natural. Sometimes during the production they didn't even use a second guitar. So they are a 3-piece, and when a solo kicks in, you can hear the drums and the bass doing the foundation. And you can hear the solo. No rhythm guitar added to that. That's how I like it. The music itself, it's simple riffing, but very, very effective and very, very catchy. The riffing has so many hooks, you can instantly hum along to the songs. At least I can, because I simply love that style of metal. You've got a straightforward songwriting, so not too much twangling around. And that is what I miss in modern death metal. Memorable songs that you can hum along to the riffs, and memorable choruses, clear structures. No cavernous things, a very, very clear but lively sound. During the last couple of years, I missed the hits in death metal. And you've got it all over that record. So Sijjin's second album, clearly a 9 out of 10 for me. So, what else is left to say? All you people out there who love the old school way of playing death metal, with clear songs, structured songs and hits, do check that one out. I think I love it even better than Sumerian Promises. And the last thing I have to say is, bang your head against the grave, like you never did before. Thank you for watching.
Thrash! Right on this unholy night.